So we are so excited to have Eddie here with us today. He has a ton of skills and expertise related to Amazon SEO and listing optimization that he is willing to come here and share with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. So tell us a little bit first how you got started with Amazon in general.
Yeah, so it goes all the way back to 2019 when I was actually teaching English in Vietnam. And it was okay, but I didn't want to be an English teacher forever. So I started researching Amazon and actually launched my own product, which totally failed. I was just like a very, very, very big beginner with any entrepreneurship. Through that, I did launch a second product, which had some success. But during all that time, I realized that I could offer my copywriting services because I had already learned all this stuff about Amazon and Amazon SEO, and I've always been a good writer. So in the meantime, while I'm building up my own Amazon business, I'll just, freelance for others. It came so natural to me. And then eventually just got so many clients that I said, let me just stick with this. This is what I'm really good at. Yeah. So that's why, I was freelancing for a while and then started Guava Listings, my agency.
So that makes sense. Like you took the skills that you had and then you ran with that. Did you start right out with just trying private label or did you try any other models first, like Arbitrage?
Yeah, it was private label. It wasn't really a good product selection. And, I didn't really understand inventory management or cash flow. I was just a young entrepreneur, I guess you can say, and then kind of obviously have developed now into having my own business.
I think it's kind of like a rite of passage. I think every Amazon seller has that kind of story of trying private label. I know I did too. And that first time was not very good for me, especially because I did not understand SEO. And I know that has a lot to do with private labeling.
I mean, everyone's got to fail before you can succeed, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. So what exactly, for the people that don't know, what really is SEO? What does that mean on Amazon?
So yeah, just starting off really basic, what the acronym means is search engine optimization. And what that means for Amazon is, several things, but really at the core of it is your keyword research, right? And the keywords that you are including in the front end of your listing, your title, your bullet points, your A+ content, plain text, and also the back end of your listing. So back end search terms, which is also known as generic keyword now at Seller Central, usually showing up now as generic keywords. That's 250 characters. And then also all your back end slots for your A+ content or image alt text. What words, right, describe your product that people who they're typing in on the Amazon search engine or on Google sometimes, Amazon also pops up. What words are going to lead to your product and how are you going to rank at the top of those words so that you're getting all of that organic traffic?
So I think a lot of sellers don't realize how big of a key SEO plays on Amazon. They know that they want to be seen on that first page, but they don't really understand how to get there. So is that how you get there, is understanding this SEO?
It's a big part, right? It's not the only part, but it's the base, right? It's the base of your pyramid, because if you have a listing that doesn't really have any keywords in it, or you haven't done your keyword research, you're running PPC, you might not be showing up as relevant in the ad auction. So therefore you're not being shown on PPC or not being shown in the right places, everything like that. So it's one, ultimately to rank, right, you need sales, but can't rank if you're not indexing for those keywords initially. And that's, kind of where all the keyword research and placing them in the right places, that's where it all comes into play.
That's a big key too, is having the right keywords, because if you're not using the right keywords and modifying and you're trying to do ad campaigns, I've tried them on my own, and this is something I'm not good at. And not having that good management of using the right keywords, your campaigns will completely flop.
Yeah.
So does every Amazon seller who's coming on and selling on the platform, do they all need to worry about SEO, or is there specific reasons why someone should be interested in having SEO knowledge?
Yeah, absolutely. Every Amazon seller needs to be focusing and worrying about SEO and doing things with SEO. So a lot of the videos on YouTube, a lot of the educational material out there is really only focused on your initial keyword research and setting up your listing initially. Amazon SEO is not a set and forget thing. So whether you are a seller that has 20 products, 50 products with 10,000 reviews, you still want to be learning about SEO and learning about the tactics that can help increase your organic traffic. Or if you're just starting out with your first product, obviously you need to get the foundational keyword research right, but then having a plan of what you're going to be doing.
So are you specifically talking about people doing private labeling right now, bringing their own product to the market and setting up their own listings versus arbitrage sellers who are just jumping onto listings?
Yeah. You would have to have the control of your listing. So whether that's, you're doing private label, making bundles, or, whatever it might be, you do need control of the listing to have control of the SEO keywords and everything like that.
And that's a good point too, because we talk a lot on this channel how bundling is a good alternative to private labeling. With you will have control of the listing, but you're using products with brand names that already exist. And I have had good luck creating bundles of name brand products and not running any SEO on them. But can you tell us how maybe if someone did want to invest in that listing a little more and put that SEO effort into it, how it could increase their sales?
If you're running PPC, having the right SEO is going to increase your relevancy in the ad auctions. By getting more PPC sales, you're going to increase in organic rank for the different keywords that you're targeting. And then also just in general, with some organic SEO tactics, you can actually help boost rank by just switching some keywords around. It's not the only factor, of course, in ranking. There are like tricks and, tips and tricks that you can do to help increase rank at certain stages in the SEO, especially towards the beginning. If you want to just kind of expand how many keywords you're indexing for, that could always lead to more traffic, especially if it's these really niche, like long tail keywords that maybe you didn't even realize were keywords that you could be targeting. All of a sudden, because there's only 200, 300 search volume, all of a sudden you're ranking number one for that. And even if that's only a few sales a month, it's still better than 0 sales a month. It's not like you necessarily need that full keyword phrase, that long tail, as long as you have the individual words that are making up that long tail keyword.
So that's great to know. So basically, anytime you own your own listing, whether it be private labeling or creating bundles, SEO is something that people need to be worried about and putting the effort into in order to increase their sales.
Absolutely.
So SEO is pretty complex, and I feel like that's why a lot of average sellers aren't really good at it. But can you take us through just a little bit of the different levels of SEO?
I've defined it as 3 different levels. And so level 1 is the foundation. And there's many different ways to go through this level and conduct this keyword research. But mostly, right, you want to be mining data from your competitors. So I use Helium 10 personally, but of course, there are other keyword research tools out there that can help you with this. Gather all the data from your competitors and you see where they're ranking, what they're going after. So then that's a really good base for you. With SEO level 1, so this is when you're creating your listing from the beginning, or if you check Helium 10 or another tool and you're not organically, you don't have an organic keyword distribution of 200 plus, you can actually rerun level 1 until you get to that point. If you do keyword research right in the beginning, mostly this is taken care of within 4 to 6 weeks of launch. What you're doing is you are going for the most important, the most vital keyword phrases for your listing. You want to have unique keyword phrases throughout. Typically, you're targeting 5 to 7 in the title, depending on how many 2-in-1s or 3-in-1s that you can get, and another 12 to 15 throughout all the bullet points. So 2 to 3 per bullet point. If you're having a product description and you're not having any A+ content, then another, you want to write the product description and then another 12 keywords. If you're going to have A+ content from launch, you could try a keyword saturation where you're just listing off different keyword phrases. This is something newer that I'm toying around with, but as long as the A+ content is showing, and your product description is not, then you can kind of perhaps, play with just listing out different keyword phrases in your product description up to 2,000 characters or so. And then in your A+ content, you want a few more, maybe about 8 in the plain text. And then in your back end slots for each image that you have in your A+ content, you have 100 characters of back end SEO or image alt text, as it's called. You want to maximize that. So another 3 to 5 keyword phrases. And then for level 1, the key here for the backend SEO is to repeat individual words that you had already in your title or bullets. So if you're selling a blue water bottle, of course, blue water and bottle are going to be in your title, probably in your bullets too, but you want to repeat them in your backend search terms for SEO level 1, because it's actually going to speed up your indexing. So you want that in SEO level 1. Again, usually you're out of level 1 after 4 to 6 weeks.
So you talked about A+ content, which you can only have access to when you register your brand. Have you seen that having A+ content helps with your indexing even more?
Yeah, absolutely. So, A+ content, of course, one of the main points of it is to increase your conversion rate. So, right, you want really good, striking, engaging images and copy there. However, your A+ content in plain text does index. Some people say it doesn't, but it absolutely does. Tested this quite a lot. So yeah, A+ content can help enormously with SEO.
Perfect. So people who are really going to take selling on Amazon very seriously and building a brand should definitely invest in getting that trademark and
Yeah,
registering.
absolutely. I think it's essential part of selling on Amazon in 2023 and beyond is having A+ content. But you can get that really quick with their IP accelerator. Apply through one of their lawyers, and then instead of waiting 9 months for your trademark, you can get A+ content while waiting for your trademark. Now, in SEO level 2 is when you are going to increase your organic keyword distribution or your indexing for, you want to get it to 800 plus keywords. Now, it depends on the product, right? Because some very niche products, sometimes it can be almost impossible to get to this because there's just not that many keywords for it. But most products can achieve this, and just some products will achieve it much faster. 2 to 5 months after level 1 is where this kind of falls in. And the main point of course, you can switch up what you're targeting in the front end, maybe in your bullets and stuff. The main process here is actually revamping your back end SEO search terms, aka generic keywords, those 250 characters that you have for backend SEO for the main listing. And what you're doing here is now, instead of having, if you're selling a blue water bottle, in your backend search terms, you're going to remove blue water bottle, container, whatever it might be. Any individual keyword that's already in your title or your bullet points, you want to remove from the backend search terms and do fresh keyword research, right? You want to be always working with the most up-to-date data. Most times you can use the same competitors that you used in SEO level 1 to kind of mine the data from and find other keywords that make sense, but you just didn't have time or you didn't have room to put it in your title or your bullet points. For example, maybe Spanish, whatever for water bottle in Spanish, put that in your back end. You could have misspellings and then other words that make sense, right? Maybe somebody might type in water bottle for hiking. So you put hiking in your back end, right? Maybe it's not your title and your bullets, but you have in your back end search terms. But really the main point of SEO level 2, while I can increase traffic by itself, and for sure you want to, be indexing for as many keywords as possible, it's a requirement for SEO level 3 where we can actually boost rank on valuable keywords. You need to have at least 800 keywords indexing organically for SEO level 3 to work. And then here's where we can actually boost rank. So in SEO level 3, right, we're going to identify valuable keywords that are currently ranked 20 through 50, right? So these are keywords that absolutely make sense for your product, but you are on the bottom half of page 1 or on page 2 or sometimes even on page 3, but you're ranked 20 through 50. We want to organically elevate them to rank 1 through 19 and hopefully in the top 10. It's set up to try to get you to 1 through 19, so you're pushing yourself up, but obviously you want to get in the top 10, top 3, and this can help push you up there. Again, it's not a 100% guarantee. There's a lot of other factors to ranking, but it's just one trick and one piece of the puzzle in your arsenal that most sellers don't know about, right? So you're actually going to, once you've identified, I say 6 to 8 here, but sometimes can even be less, maybe 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 8 if it makes sense. And then you actually will put these keyword phrases in multiple times into your listing. So that's different from level 1 where we want to just spread out and have as many unique keyword phrases as possible. Same kind of deal in SEO level 2. But in level 3, we'll actually repeat these really valuable keywords that are currently not ranking very high. Of course, you can't fit them all in your title, but have every single target in your bullets, have every single target in your product description, have every single target in your plain text A+ content, in your alt text A+, in the alt text of the A+ content. And so what this will do is over time, sometimes it takes 2 weeks, sometimes it takes a month. You get better results after 2-3 months, but it will help push you up in the rank. Again, not a 100% guarantee, but after performing SEO level 3 on a listing, in most cases, we're getting 70% of the target keywords up into 1 through 19 and even up and through 1 through 10. And then what happens now is once you're up there, as long as you have an optimized listing and you're converting sales, the flywheel has started. So now you're getting more sales because you're higher ranked, more people are finding you. And then Amazon's like, oh, wow, they are really relevant. So let's keep them up here or let's push them even higher. So SEO level 3 is my favorite. I was super excited to discover this.
That's awesome. That's really cool how like flows, but each different level is kind of like a different attack that you're taking with it.
Yeah.
So I feel like you've already taught us so much today about SEO, but is there any way that you think you could help us even further develop our SEO skills?
Yeah, so I actually have created a free, no-cost masterclass on the subject where I will take you through each of those 3 levels. There's video trainings and also detailed SOPs on how to execute it. It doesn't cover every single nuance of it, of course, but it will definitely help you, like, have a really good base and understanding all of the SEO levels. And no matter whether you're launching a new listing or you have a listing that's already in SEO level 3, but now you know the trick, and now you are going to actually help boost the rank on those valuable keywords.
That's awesome. So I'll definitely include that link down below. Anyone that wants to do this free class that Eddie has set up, look right down in the description box and there will be a link to take you right there. So aside from all of this that you've already told us about today, are there any other additional services that you are an expert with and can help us with?
Yeah, so my agency, Guava Listings, we are all about listing optimization. So that's a very large part SEO, but then also the other really important aspects of an Amazon listing. So click-through rate, creating a main image that stands out from the crowd and gets more clicks, right? That could be something that's a really huge aspect of Amazon, even playing with the title to help increase click-through rate, everything like that. And then of course, conversion rate, my bread and butter. It's what I kind of started off with as a copywriter. We can help whether you just want us to come up with like image ideas that could be handed to your graphic designer and all the copy that's going to go on to the image gallery, the A+ content, and the bullet points, of course, and everything like that for high conversion rate, right? Engaging, emotional, put the person into an emotional state. So we can either help just come up with image ideas that you can use, whether you're a graphic designer or you have a graphic designer, or we also have a graphic design team as well. So then we can execute the vision. We're really big on lifestyle images, right? So, putting faces into that, connecting with your target audience and, just causing that emotional state that then they click, your favorite button, the buy now. And then even if you need photography, it's with a partner studio, but we can do it all for one price. If you need photography as well, we can help with that.
That's great, because there's nothing worse than putting months of effort and money into a product and having a great product, but then not understanding listing optimization and SEO, and therefore you don't get any sales. So that's awesome that you offer that, especially for somebody like me where I don't really like doing the SEO stuff, that I could come to you and you could be somebody to help me with that, to make sure that my listing is going to have the best chances of taking off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for spending your time here with us and teaching us so much about SEO, because that is not something that is just common sense when it comes to Amazon, but it's something that is super important. So I really appreciate you coming here with us today and giving us this free knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. No, glad to be here.
All right. Well, perfect. Thank you so much for doing this. And it was great to meet you.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.